I've been planning on how to start my content creation journey for a while now. And normally, I've been doing the text format in which I post on my WhatsApp status, Twitter if I feel much more enthusiastic about the post. But as of December 21st, 2025, I decided to make video contents going forward. Just to the main goal is just actually for me to develop myself as an orator to be able to speak more confidently. So with that, this my first video is going to be on my 2025 review and how the year has been so far, what I have accomplished, the downfall I have experienced, how I've been able to change my mind through reading books, my financial goals in terms of my day trading journey, how terribly that's gone for the first 9 to 10 months of the year, and how it has been going for the past 3 to 2 months, and the kind of decision I had to make on my birthday just to get myself towards the right direction once again. Okay, so beginning of the year when the 2025 year started, I had a big goal: read 9 books every month. I've never tried it before. I just thought that to be something I could easily accomplish. And with that, I started with economics books because I felt like everyone should have a history. Everyone should know the history of the world, to better understand why events happen the way they are. And the first book on my list was Adam Smith's Wealth of Nations because I used ChatGPT to filter out the 10 best economics books to read. And that book alone took me 36 days to read. It took me over a month and a week because though I started with a very high energy, I was reading 3 hours for the first week. But after that, my reading time just crashed. I've never done something like that before, reading consistently for 3 hours. So it kind of crashed and it took me a while to get back. So that's it on Adam Smith. Although I won't actually say that I learned much on that because it was just fact on how currency were being cut down, how inflation was being raised through the government, reducing the quality of metals in the currency, and that it was a voluminous book for me, over 1,000 page, and I read mostly all the books. Most of the book I read this year were e-copies. I only bought few hard copies that I was able to read, which I'll get to later. Yeah, and after that, I think I ended up reading like 10 books, but the best book I read so far in those economics book were Gone, James and Steel. I don't know why the book just I find it very fascinating. It talks about how the one thing I can remember about the book is talk about how Europeans dominated the world, especially England as a whole. Like what the impact they've had on the world has actually been great. I don't think people actually realize, like, to me when I read the book, I don't think most people realize the kind of impact England had on the world because yeah, they were Roman empires. They were the ones the medieval era, the ones that ruled during those times. But the impact that England had on this new world that we are living right now is mostly overlooked because yeah. But I just found that the forefathers of England's current children, they committed many atrocities, but if you look at it from their own perspective, they were just trying to survive and they did the best they could with the information they had. So for me, it was an eye-opening book for me, and that was the kind of the best book I read in economics. I also read the Capital in the 21st Century. That one too was good, and Why Nation Fail. I really love that book. Wow, it just breaks it down like the system is always when an economy is not functioning well. The only thing to blame is the system. And the system are the government. If the economy is not doing well, there's only one person to blame, which is the government. Which I find it just breaks it down. The economics itself less complicated. Whenever people in a country, whenever the citizens in a country are not doing well, it's just obviously down to the government of that country. It's not upon anyone else. Because before even reading that, I've not heard of Lee Kuan Yew, the Prime Minister of Singapore. I'm currently reading his autobiography, but I've not finished it. So the work he did with the People Action Party (PAP) to transform the nation from a slum to now one of the leading country in the world is something astonishing. That if the story was not told, no one would believe it that it happened because It was basically just one man trying to fight for the betterment of his people, and he did the best he could. And luckily for them, it worked out. Many nations have tried, and many nations have failed since then. But their stories are the story of Singapore was a success story for me. And yeah, after I read like 10 books, but those are the three that I felt like it had an impact on me. Wealth of Nature because it was the first one I read. Gun, Gems, and Steel in a breakdown on how the world we are living right now came to be, and the Wealth of Nation, which talks about the system is usually to blame when the economy is not functioning. And after that, I went into my autobiography era. But I realized that if I was going to do what I did, I was reading only economics book, which took me over 7 months to finish. I was really bad. The first 6 months of the year was really boss and awful for me. I had nothing to do. My time was just I own basically 24 hours of my time, but still yet I failed to utilize it because it was the first time actually owning the entire 24 hours after graduating and all that. So it took a long while for me to get it together. So I realized that if I were going to do that, I'm only going to be reading one genre. I might not be able to read another genre of book for the year. So instead of me just reading economics, I decided, okay, instead of reading one, I'll just instead of reading only one genre, why don't I read one genre, skip to another genre, then another genre? So I now decided to choose three, which was Founders Autobiography of Those Who Have Created Company, the autobiography of political leaders, which I read Lee Kuan Yew, Mandela's story, Mahatma Gandhi's story, and I read literature. So far, Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky. I've read The Hundred Years of Solitude, which actually the Hundred Years of Solitude was one of the best literature I've read so far this year. It really spoke to me. And yeah, so let me start with the founder's autobiography. Like, I've always had this sense, I don't know why, that Elon Musk was not actually who he said he is. Because I have not, you've made the story, you read the headline, but reading his autobiography, I was like, wow, this dude is actually a genius. That was the first time I came to a realization that someone like him is a two in a billion, a two in 10 billion, because you don't get to see people like that often. The man really created something great with SpaceX, Tesla, and the drilling company, the Neuralink. Like, he's actually a genius, and I did not really realize that till the day I read this book, the day I read his autobiography. And Jeff Bezos, which has always been my number one idol, it was actually one of the reason. It was the main reason why I started my financial journey because I felt like being in Nigeria as a whole, like how best can I tap the financial the financial armor of the world. So reading the story of how he started with finance, I was like, okay, okay. That was around 2020 when I first read. I was just kind of interested in billionaires, and it happened to be the one that spoke to me. I read most of the documentary that came out that time and really got interested. So reading his autobiography did not really do much because I knew most of everything that happened, but it just kind of shed a light on things takes time, greatness takes time. You can't rush it. And I'm going to like try to so what I'm saying right now, I'm going to like pinpoint to how it came out. It's how I'm trying to deal with trading being a day trader as a whole. And the next one for me was the Walton family, the Walmart story. The Walmart story was great. It's just a story of how no system can be no system can be changed. As long as you have the dedication, you can always change the system and bring in a new one. And how it dominated chain, the chain supermarkets in America. And the last one for me right now that I find interesting, just found that autobiography was Warren Buffett, the Great Sage of Omaha. I've been following his stories for a while, but when I read this, reading his autobiography seems like it's the work of a freak because reading it like the one that I read what's the name say that the autobiography of Warren Buffett. The name is the Snowball Effect. So reading it, I was like, wow. Like, I've experienced many like turmoils trading. It seems like he was able to hold it together throughout his journey, which kind of sound unreal to me that he did experience as like going down 99%, 100%. He actually did not experience that during his trading journey. It was always like reading the books he read, giving an advantage that most people are not privileged to. Like being in Nigeria, we are not really. like pushed to read books like that. All the books were pushed to read were textbook, just cram what the teacher have told you in school, then pour in an examination just to pass, which was kind of silly. Because even when I was young, I always have this great desire to read books, but the books that were given to us was all this literature, Nigerian literature, like the lowest form that were just that were just supposed to get you better with reading. So it was not really engaging. So I feel like that was a great advantage. Reading books at a young age is actually a very great advantage for anyone interested. So that's then I went into the world biography. And in the world biography, Mahatma Gandhi, the guy strong, will and stubbornness. It's basically like seeing myself in someone else. The guy just too stubborn, same like me. So okay, well, oh, I am like him. I don't know how to put that. So that's that. And I think the one that spoke to me in all those founders biography was the struggle that's um this man Nelson Mandela went through in South Africa and how to get and fighting to get their independence. That one really spoke to me. A dude spent over 30 years in prison, I think, just to fight for the rights of his citizens, which was actually very cool. And I don't see a lot of that happening nowadays. Maybe they're happening, but I'm not informed of it because I don't actually listen to news because I feel like they are waste of my time currently. If it's important enough, I'll hear it from someone else. But if not important enough, it should not come to my timeline. So that's how I treat news nowadays. And after that, I think currently I'm reading the Singapore story by Lee Kuan Yew, which actually great. It's so funny that when you trace the common denominator of all these great people are suffering for a long period of time and just finding ways to just come out to the other side. That's just the great denominator. So it's kind of and the one thing I think I've learned reading all these books is that it makes my dream kind of feel not overwhelm me anymore. Like not something to do because I used to feel kind of scared of the dreams I had. But since reading this book, no matter how I increase it, no matter how high I want to my dream is, it just feels normal. I don't know. Like this year transformed my mind in a sense that everything just feels normal. It's very the one thing I noticed is I'm like it's very hard for me to get angry at someone for their action because I kind of have an understanding on why they're behaving the way they're behaving. So it's very hard for me to be angry at someone, and which is kind of pissing me off because I don't feel like I'm acting unempathic. I'm not unempathic in terms of my dealings. Like I'm not able to thoroughly assess my emotions the way I'm supposed to. Even my own emotion of feeling sad, depressed, or those. I don't actually. I just look at it like, oh, it is what it is right now. So I don't know how to put it in words right now, but it just the emotional part of life just feels like uh, I don't know how to, I don't know whether maybe I'm struggling to put it word in words that seems a bit harsh. But the main thing I'm just trying to get out of that dreams don't feel scary anymore, and I'm just trying to align my action so that I can get the results that I want because that's how it is. And yeah, this first part of the video is going to be about the books I've read, and the second part of my year is going to be about my trading journey, and the third part I'm just going to try to bring out the lesson I've learned from this year. So that's it. And yeah, in terms of literature, Crime and Punishment was it's really messed with me. Like I was just nah, I've actually forgotten the main characters there, but if you have read the story or you don't know, but the main character was just like someone that was just struggling with himself. Like he knows he has the potential to accomplish great things. He know he can do all these things, but his mind keeps messing with him. The part where he had to go and steal money ended up his plan was to steal money. They ended up killing two people in the process, dodging from the police, falling in love with Natasha. I don't know why I remember her name, Natasha. I don't know why I main character name, but I remember the girl he fell in love with Natasha. Trying to bring balance to all. It's just it's kind of painful at the same time hard, but I think the main thing that fueled the sketch was just trying to pass out is life is about struggle. You just this is a constant struggle, especially when you're an intellectual again, you suffer intellectually. And the best way to move forward is just by moving forward. You can't sit down and try to overthink your current situation. it doesn't usually yield any result except except you are thinking to for a solution. But if you are thinking for thinking's sake, you just sit down there and it's basically like Franz Kafka Metamorphosis. I think they were saying the same thing there, where the guy woke up as a bug, and the first thing he thought about was how he was going to go to work and provide for the family. So that thought process, instead of thinking about the current situation, you're just thinking about the solution of the situation. So I don't know how to. I don't know whether I don't know if painting that picture if it sounds harsh, but that's just how I saw it. And the 100 Years of Solitude was, oh god, it was the most heartbreaking story I've read this year. Like it just allowed me to go into deep thoughts on why I I kind of keep I don't know why, I don't know how to put it politely, but I kind of refuse to engage with people. I don't want to engage with everybody. So, and that painted a picture like that is actually the main purpose of life: engagement, being in a community, talking with people. I like to keep my circle as small as possible because I feel like there's a lot of noise out there. And if I can control that, I'm able to have more control of my time. Because the one thing that pisses me off the most is when someone wastes my time. Like I want everything to be done fast and start. If I can enjoy being on the queue for my turn, but once it's my turn and I end up being and the person end up being wasting my time, it actually pains me a lot. And that's one of the things that it still frustrates me up to now. I've not able to calm my nerve when someone wastes my time. So, but the main lesson from 100 Days of Solitude is we have to appreciate the now. We have to appreciate the family we have. We have to appreciate the people that are closest to us. We have to make an interest in their life. We have to show interest in their life. You just, I think that was the main part. Just finding ways to be in people's life without being a burden to them. So, and yeah, that's I'm just been trying to get better on that. I think that story and the ones I've read previously just kind of started opening my heart a bit. I started because I've actually not been pursuing relationship in a sense for a while. I've actually like I focus more on the kind of relationship that will set me forward, like kind of heartbreak, not a one that set for a long term. It was after then I've kind of tried to bring myself that although the ones I've been going to recently have been kind of I've been hearing a lot of complaint about how I behave. So but I'm not too pissed off about that because I know the way I am right now to find someone that actually like can how will I say what was the word for yourself? Is it can oh, that is able to the word is not on my mind. So the way I'm trying to do it, that's able to endure my current characters or behavior right now. It's going to take a while. So it's a journey that I'm willing and ready to go on. Let's say I do. So this first part is mostly about the books I've read. Now let's get back to the hard copies. I bought six hard copy. No. I bought five hard copy this year. Diary of a CEO by Steve Bartlett, Blue Ocean Strategy, the Almanac of Naval Raviknak, which was a very good story. Sorry, a very good book, not a story. It's still said to be a story, sure. And this other book, Ikegai, Japanese way about Japanese style of living a happy life. Then Thinking Fast and Grow, that book I've messed up my psyche a lot. Well, I've catching myself in the webs of the author's thoughts or whatever is trying to paint out that the human mind actually. I've always thought of myself to be rational, but the more I read the book, I realize I'm not as rational as I think I am, and there's things I can work on. But and there's another thing I've like to myself, like the one constant book I'm going to be reading throughout the next is Thinking Fast and Grow. Because I feel like that is reading that book. Although I'm going to also be reading like the first 6 months of the year. My plan is to read financial book. I've gotten like 30 books and I'm going to be reading them hard. Like 30 books by recommended by Ray Dalio, Warren Buffett, and Charles Munger, this other this entrepreneur, this investor that has white hair. I also like that guy. So just those 4 5, and I also introduce other financial advisor or financial investors that I'm not really versatile with. That I'm not too con that I'm not that I'm not so familiar with. Sorry. So that's it. So I'm going to be doing all that. And in terms of reading, my best month of reading so far was the month of October. I was able to read 4 books because that was after my birthday. I just made that dedication, like I have to get my life together. So I've been averaging 1 or 2 books before then. Then October I read 4 books. Then November I had to go to camp, so I bought hard copy because I knew reading soft copy was going to be very difficult because you can't be reading with your phone while lecture are going on. But if you are with a book, you are less likely to get hassled, which I was never hassled about holding a book and reading it while lecture was going on because I didn't find the lecture part interesting. So I just kept myself. But I was able to read that. I bought 3 books while going to camp: Ikegai, the Almanac of Navarre Rabinak, and Thinking Fast and Grow. I was able to read the first two, but Thinking Fast and Grow up to now I've not been able to finish it because since then I've gone back to reading soft copy, and currently I'm currently experiencing my 1 week blowout in Abuja, so I've not really had time to read second. So overall, I've read 29 books this year. Yeah, 29 books. I was aiming for 30, but coming to Abuja, that is not possible. And I've told myself coming here, I'm not gonna take anything serious. I'm not gonna have fun. Just a week fun. I've gone throughout the year looking for things that have not chased me back. So this 1 week cannot hurt any progress that I've done to myself. So that's just how I feel about the entire situation. And yeah, I think that ends of my book review. The next video is going to be on my trading journey. How that's going to be really harsh. And the last part is going to be on life lesson that I need to take with me, or things that I wish I could have told myself beginning of the year that would have made my life a bit easier. So yeah, thanks for listening. So this is my part two of my year review, and it's going to be on my trading journey. Huh. I don't actually feel very comfortable talking about this because how does this video talking about your losses, the losses, the losses, the losses, the losses? We have to claim that it's all growth because if you're not delusional enough to claim that it's growth, what chance of success do you have? So just gonna let me just keep. I'll try to keep it as brief as possible, just so that not to enter this and bring out pain that I have already buried deep down and already extracted the lessons from there. So initially this year, I had a very clear objective. If I was not able to break above $8,000 by January, I will leave forex trading. Sorry, I will leave crypto trading, then go back to forex trading because I don't know why this year in this cycle of the crypto side, this cycle, the crypto bull run this year cycle has been very shitty. We've tried investing in sports, like in fact, like very reasonable spot positions. I've tried holding, did terribly. I think I bought Dodge end of the year. I bought around 0. Was it not 0.04? Was it 0.4? I don't actually know the price. But I bought around that price. And it went down from that point throughout the entire year. I bought the peak and BTC created multiple highs throughout the entire period. But for reasons untold, it seems like the liquidity of the market was just focused on Bitcoin and some few selected altcoins, which were very difficult to spot, especially when your main focus is trading on Bybit and Binance. You cannot just be jumping ships and be putting money everywhere. So it was really difficult to navigate through that. So that was the initial goal, to leave forex trading if it's to read crypto trading if it proves too difficult to break. Yeah, because we know the problem with crypto traders, if you are trying to like get those big gains, you cannot be looking at just one single pair. You have to look at a whole broad range of pairs at any particular time. And in doing that, there's a probability you miss a pair, there's a probability you will not be able to keep track of a pair. No matter how good you are, that's there's a probability of that happening. So that happened a lot throughout the year. I think the pairs that are caught the year was on the chart. I mean, this year was hyper and this other pair, hyper and pumped on fun. And funny enough, those two pair I caught them around their lows, but said them too early, or sold in break even, or even sold in loss because I was just not confident enough on catching them. And they're one of the best performance of the year at their peak share because I caught those ones at the bottom. So these are the one I can confidently talk about. So yeah, instead of leaving the crypto trading in January, because I've been doing that for since 2020, I've been switching between crypto and trading, just trying to just trying to better my strategy and increase my confidence in taking it. So I've been trying to do that, which has which so far, yeah, I haven't seen the result I've wanted because of the kind of position I've been putting myself in. So yeah, that went terribly for like 9 months. I was trying to get through to crypto. Crypto will crash. I'll wait. Market will look back. You trick again. You take the account up before you know, take the account back down again. Break 100. Break, go back less than 100. It's just painful. Touch 60. Go back to zero. Now I'm talking about like the dollars amount. Like take like $3 to $6. Take it back to $0. Take it to close to $100. Then take it back to $0. It happened multiple times. Like I just try to endure, just thinking like when because the main goal is if the market condition becomes stable, I should be able to do that. Then after experiencing that down all those I had what's the this because consolidation for like months. Then I think like last 3 or 4 months of trading crypto, and I started getting like I think like bad shit crazy on my trading. Like in the sense that I open a position, the moment it goes up, I'll put another position. The moment it go, I keep putting another position. So, like, it came to a point that just a 1% drop in price just evaporates my account. After that happened consistently, I then decided, okay, I think it was around September. I decided, that, okay, I'm going to give myself a few weeks of this bullshit price action to see if I can get myself because I think 2 weeks leading to my birthday, I was just kind of I won't say I was depressed because I don't know that was depression. I don't really know the definition of it. I just like I was just not feeling the mood to do anything. I was just on my bed for like 2 weeks. I was like vegetable on my bed watching movie. I hardly wear any clothes, maybe probably my boxers. Then eat, watch film, rinse and repeat. I did it for 2 weeks. Then on my birthday eve, that was on 25th of September. Because I've been planning to do that, but I wanted to like do it on a special day that like every all the style will align to look very perfect, those kind of stuff. So I waited on my birthday to do all that. So on my birthday, if I just was even in the evening, I thought okay, say okay, it's time to start watching movie. I got myself out of the platform. I went out. I bought I went out. I basically took my hair off. I barbed everything off. I was like, this time for a revenge arc. I bought chicken stick. I wiped all those shit out. I just cleared cleared my hair. I just cleared my hair. I just cleared my hair then. Cleared my hair. And I think I meditated for like 20 30 minutes. I got my goals right. And on my birthday day, I went on a 23-kilometer run. Because I've been going for runs before then. I think that was my 65th or 67th attempt of going out on a run every day. So, and that day was, I decided to run a 23-kilometer on 26th of September because on that day I was 23 years old. So I decided it would be like perfect to just run it. It took me 2 hours 30 something minutes to finish, but I did it regardless. I finished the run, and after that I just told myself this is the time for quick decisions. There's no I can't spend time again making the same mistake over and over again. So I think I actually kept up for like 2 weeks. Then all of a sudden, me and my friend had a conversation that, bro, it is time to leave this shit. So I don't know why that day I don't decide to blow my account. I don't know how I did it. I just blew my for crypto account. Then I went all out. I just cleared the account and I went to start forex trading. I was intending to keep this video very short, but the way life goes, so I try to start to like bring out a 12 months experience in a 5 minute video. Sometimes it just elongates itself. So back to the point. After that, track back to forest trading. We had like a hard time the first few months because we were trying to get our strategy like okay to work on the forest trading, which was actually better because since I went back to forest trading, I felt a bit calmer in a sense that it's not like I'm trying to batshit look for position. I only have like 12, 13 guys I can trade at any given period of time. I told myself I'm going to be trading only 5% every week. Then after having like consistent 100 pips, over 100 pips in profit for the first 2 weeks, and I went back to trading the cycle, the shit that got me into trouble in forex over leveraging, buying more as it keeps going up. And the funny thing was that when it happened in forex, the both times yeah, I think the tweet that both times rather blew my account. One happened previously and one that happened during November. The direction has been in my favor. It was not like I had like the wrong direction. What has been the problem was like I had too many positions because I was just trying to like take the account from that kind of thing when you're trying to take the account from like 10, 30 dollars to like over $100 at one go. Then probably to close around 200 300 because I have like more than four positions open with like 0.02 lot size. So that's what I was trying to do. So that batch sheet went crazy. That batch sheet went wrong the first time, which was around November. And after having that small success again, I think the problem is that the first 2 weeks I'm able to keep myself okay. Then the third week, I feel like that kind of overconfidence have come to me that okay, you can do this now. The direction, like there are some times you just look at the page that the direction just seems like it must go up or it must go down. So I try to like put my how would I say put like, I'm a kind of I'm an overconfident person in in the way I deal with life. So that has kind of put me in a lot of trouble in trading. So I've been trying to find a way to reduce that going forward. So for the past I think 2 weeks now, yeah, I've not actually traded. I've decided to like calm myself because the problem right now is it's not that my strategy works. That's according to what I've been experiencing so far. It works. It works now because I trade resistance zone, the breakout of resistance or breakdown of resistance. That's what I trade. And candlestick pattern, tweezer top, tweezer bottom, doji candlestick, green doji, and I've been able to find a way to trade those profitably in terms of trading style, but in terms of trading result, as well profit because of the actions I've been taking. So that's what I've been trying to work on. We have made a lot of rules for ourselves to get this shit right because we understand we have been doing this for over 5 years right now. Since 2020, this is going to be our sixth year going in. If we cannot change our behavior to match the action we want, then we'll be in big trouble going forward. Because I think it feels like we are getting older because of the generation we live in right now. Although in like let's say in Alexander the Great era, being 23 is actually like you should have accomplished all your life goals already. Like all the things you feel like you wanted to accomplish, you should have accomplished. But during our own times, it feels like we are still young and there's a lot of things we can experiment. So, but with the current societal pressure right now, it seems like we should our goals right now should have been done and like actually have achieved like at least the base foundation of the good that is supposed to make life a bit easy for us going forward. So yeah, we have been trying to battle with that. Like we've had a lot of seem like I'm repeating myself here, but the main thing is that I've brought together rules and regulation that if I stick with, like currently right now, self, I've even limited myself to three pairs a week, and I'm able to take only three positions a week. So I have to scrutinize every position that I take to make sure that I don't take any position, and I can't open more than two positions. Because I've realized that if I go only two positions on most of the pairs, or kept it because the problem is when I open three, four position. Mostly when I open four position. But if I'm able to keep it under two, I should be good. And right now, I've realized that all I need for a week is 100 pips in profit. Like I need to be able to accumulate 100 pips in a profitable direction. That's all I need a week, 100 pips in profit. So, and I've not had a situation where I lose three trade in a row, like back to back trade. So as long as I can keep that fact true and keep the other facts existing, like in terms of like the 100 pips happens every week, I should be able to be profitable because it seems like things are actually in a good place. I just have to like build myself together. I feel like I just need a tiny nudge to get to the state of profitability. It's a consistent profitability in which I'm not only able to go 3 months, 3 weeks in profit, I'm able to extend it to 3 months. And if I can do that for 3 months, I should be able to break all barriers that have been holding me down so far. And I think me and my friends we should be able to break up barrier because we've been on the journey together, take all the pains and losses together. So hopefully 2026, not hopefully, 2026 will be our year because we are determined to cast away all bad behaviors and stick to what works. So that's my trading journey. That's like the short version of it because I didn't want to go more. If I wanted to like go into every trade I took and the lessons I learned every day, it's going to be very long. But just like a overview of how we have come to this point and the way we tend to move going forward. So that's just it. Thanks. So the next part of this is going to be on the lessons I've wished I learned the beginning of the or the what's the lesson the things I wish I implemented at the beginning of the year, which have made my year a bit better. So yeah, that might be long, might be short, I don't know, but let's see how it goes. So this is the part three of my 2025 review, and it's going to be based on the lessons I've which I've implemented earlier this year. So one of the things I've which I've implemented is to think less more of my emotional state and be more action driven because I feel like when trying to accomplish a task, like the kind of task I'm accomplishing right now, it's not like I'm trying to like when I'm reading books or studying financial videos or learning Japanese or playing calisthenics. My emotional state does not actually matters. The only thing that actually matters is if I'm able to put myself in the zone of doing the task. So that is one of the things I wish I'd been telling earlier because it was very surprising to me that when I took that vow on my birthday eve, I was able to read 4 books in October, and I should have even read more because I had like some down days, and even in October. So I was like, imagine if I've implemented that earlier January, it means I could have read 4 books on an average every month. So it was actually painful to come to that realization that I could have been better than I was, but because I limited myself because of my emotions, so that really messed me up. And the other lesson will have wished to have taken with me is I actually have the perfect plan. Like my plan is actually okay. The plan I have, my intuition are kind of right, but I doubt it because giving up on anything always feels like I should not give up. Like why should I give up? Because I've stress tested enough to the point that I can bring that intuition that okay, oh, it's time to leave this place. It's time to do this something. It's time to try something else. But I've doubted it. If not, I would have left crypto earlier, then go into forex February. Then I'm just like this time just tells me trying to paint a picture in hindsight. It might not have been the way like this. What I'm trying to paint right now might not actually have happened, but I feel like my emotional well-being so far has been better in terms of like how erratic I am. I'm much more calmer. I'm not I don't know how to put it in words. What word am I looking for? The main thing is that I've been much more stable trading forex compared to when I'm trading crypto because I don't know, maybe it's because I don't have that anxiety of trying to look for the perfect pair. I just know that I only have this is the only pair I can trade. If there's no position, there's nothing for me to do. Go back to studying and reading. Then that's just it. But when you are trading crypto, I cannot do that. I have to keep looking for. I have to like keep looking for at the pair that are being listed every day, like trying to find out if there's a if it has limited supply or unlimited supply. Try to see what is going on Twitter. There's a lot of information that you have to bring in. Like the main thing, just keep everything simple, and that's what I've been able to do so far with going back to forex. I've been able to keep everything simple. So yeah, that's one. And the other lesson which I implemented earlier the year is I have no clue. I have no clue. I think those are the two lessons that I feel like if I've if I've done that earlier, maybe I will be in a better position now than I am. So yeah, that's just it. Going forward, I've just tried to bring all those things together. Like I've already created my schedule for the year, and it's going to be more like like I've been saying this repeatedly. Like I'm going to be acting more like a robot 2026. No, like I'm feel less of my emotion, then do more of action. I don't know if that sounds harsh, but I feel like at the stage I am right now, like that is what I have to do going forward. Because being emotional does not actually help me in terms of my dream. Like if I'm being too emotional about it, like it's okay to take loss and be sad about it, but when it's not affecting my performance on when it's not affecting my performance, that's when there's a problem with it. So that will have to be cancelled out. And yeah, so 2026 the inflection point for me. That's it. There's no maybe. It is the inflection point, and the only way I can get there is by sticking to my strategy, by following my daily schedule, by not omitting everything, and by being truthful with myself. Because I feel like I am the no matter how delusional I am, I've always been able to find the truth in any of my situation. But the problem is just because you know the truth does not actually mean you want to follow it up. Because despite it being a subjective and objective view, there's no it still matters on how where I'm being treated objectively because just because I've come to the conclusion that this is true does not mean I have to follow it. So just try to do more of that 2026. Yeah. So that's this that I think that ends for my year review. And coming February 5th, I'm going to be posting a video every day because